How many of you would like more abundance in your life? Type an A in the comments for abundance. Thank you. How many of you would like to give more? Type a G for give. Fantastic. My name is Joachim. I am the co-founder of Catching Secrets. In over the past years, we have empowered women financially to invest, manage their own portfolio, and creating an income from that. And I want to acknowledge you for coming on here. We are busy people. You're probably busy and have other things you could be doing right now. Do you have other things you could have been doing right now? If so, type OT in the chat for other things. Thank you. I would like to acknowledge you for taking out time in your schedule because you are investing in your most important asset. That is what's between here. That is investing in yourself. If you haven't yet, now could be a great time to acknowledge yourself for actually carving out time in your calendar to take yourself to the next level. Because by attending this session, what you're going to get is control and clarity so you can replace stress with certainty. Because this is about giving you frameworks, tips, and tricks so you can take control of your finances and direct your money into ways that are going to allow your money to work for you. And you will get an understanding of strategies that will help you to create or maintain wealth even in the toughest economic times. And we will also share with you money management secrets so you can navigate even the toughest economic times. For those that haven't met me yet, is it okay if I share a little bit about myself? Thank you. And I'm so blessed to be introduced to investing by my dad during my teens. And I've been shown that investing is a great way to create more financial abundance in our life, like going, traveling, and spending that time with friends or family. However, there have always been 2 steps forward and 1 step back because of particular investments that has wiped out a lot of money. And I see more than 46,000 euro being lost. As a result of that, I decided something had to change. I immersed myself in the topic, learning from some of the best investors and traders in the world. And on that journey, I met my business partner. We founded Catching Secrets. I started sharing my knowledge with friends and with my dad because I love my dad. And eventually we started serving clients. And the thing is, I thought, like, who needs this the most? And that brings me back to when I was about 10 years old. And at that time, my mom divorced my dad. And it left my mom in a more financial stressful situation. And I can remember times sitting at home and my mom wasn't always there. Not because she doesn't love me, but she was out working 2 jobs to take care of my sister and me. Can you relate to working hard to take care of your family? Or maybe even just yourself? Now, seeing that, that's never going to change. And I wish that my mom didn't have to go to the kindergarten to look out for other parent children while I was home. Or I wish she didn't have to go to nurture elderly people to become better when I was climbing trees and falling down, scraping my knees. And I bet that there is a kid out there now, just like me, 10 years old, sitting at home, mom, I'm working 2 or 3 jobs. And it's not that these women are not smart enough. It's not that you're not skilled enough. It's just that nobody has taken the time to show you how to do it. So it's not your fault. That is why I want to help. That is why I want to empower women financially. So that is why we are here to share our insights. How many of you would like to know some of the insights and secrets that we have discovered along the journey of setting ourselves up to financial success and more freedom? Let me know in the comments. Fantastic. And before we dig into content, I'm obligated to tell you that I am no financial advisor. I do not provide advice. I only share my experience, and our results are not typical. And if it happens that I mention any particular investment opportunities, it is for educational purposes only. And I am happy to come on here to show you what's worked for me, some of the best tips and tricks that I applied, that I discovered and learned and put together so that you also can thrive financially. And thus having the freedom and the time with those people that you love and enjoy even more abundance. So one last thing is just be aware that there is a 100% mortality rate among the people who listen to me. With that being said, there are some things that hold many back from achieving the level of financial freedom that they really like. And have you heard about someone who been successful with investing, who makes profits by investing or are financially free? And if they have a system, if they have a way of doing it, and they say it's simple, why aren't everyone doing it? Have you asked yourself that? Now the question is, why aren't you doing it? And let's explore maybe some aspects that could be holding you back from the level that you want. And I just want to let you know that this is not your fault, because we are never taught this stuff. So that is why I'm so glad that you're here, so we can bring clarity. And the first thing that why aren't people wealthy is that they never clearly define wealth. Because in order to have the life that you want, you need to be very specific about what is it that you want. Because then we can put a price tag to that. And I'm going to share more about that a little bit later. And many, they define it in ways that make it feel impossible to reach. That maybe you are here today and maybe you're earning $3,000, 3,000 euro, or whatever your currency is, and you say, hey, you want to make $1 million. And it's great to have that vision, a compelling reason why. A compelling future, compelling vision is what really drives us humans. And at the same time, maybe if there is a step in between or some smaller steps that would make it more encouraging you to start on that journey. That there are some specific things that you can deal with to just get clarity and control in your current situation that will really take off a lot of work from your shoulders and then allow you to focus even further ahead. So if you make it impossible to reach, the consequence of that is that many, they don't believe that they can ever really achieve it. And that is just disencouraging. So how can we turn it around? And the problem is that many, they never make it an absolute must, that there is no point of return. Or as Tony Robbins says it, if you want to seize the islands, burn the boats. Make sure that there is kind of no plan B, so you are committed. And another roadblock for many is that they don't have realistic goals, because it's about making goals that are achievable, setting up yourself to success. Now, if we have goals, many, they fail to follow through on their plan, because it's also about taking action, staying consistent with what you said you are going to do, because the habits are more important than the amount. And I'm going to dig into that a little bit later in the training and the importance of this. Now, many also, they listen to experts and they give the experts the responsibility to make it work rather than making themselves responsible. What is the word? Responsible. Exactly. Because when any of us face face challenges, and I've done this myself as well, is that we have a tendency to deny what's going on. For example, we might say that business is working if it's not. We say that the relationship is great if it's not. But it's only the truth that's going to set us free. And some of us, then, if we don't deny, what we can do is we could blame or criticize, pointing fingers. Now, it might be someone else's fault, but is it really going to help you? So the key is to be, in order to change, to achieve what you want to achieve, to get your outcomes, you got to be 100%, you know this, responsible. And many, they give up when they face major financial challenges. Any challenge is good because it is an opportunity for you to grow, to step up. And I'm going to share a really powerful thing with you right now, and also to turn things around in the moment. And I know it can be hard in the moment. And at the same time, if you want extraordinary results, you got to do the extraordinary. And one thing that you can do is to focus on others. We are often willing to do more for others than we are willing to do for ourselves. Now, unfortunately, many fail to conduct their lives like a business where they must have a profit at the end of each year. In order to have sustainability, because that is what's going to give you the consistency, the persistency to do this over and over again, having control and thriving even through the toughest economic times, is that consistency. So being able to have to conduct your lives like a business and having a profit at the end of each year. And many, they allow other people's pessimism or optimism to affect the intelligent implementation of their plan, so that they let emotions rule them, and having external forces, external people coming in, allowing their decisions to be affected. And the last roadblock for many is that they never, ever get good mentoring. Because if you can get insights that are going to set you free, why spend 5 years figuring that out if you can get the knowledge, for example, in 2 months? Would you agree that that would be powerful if there are shortcuts to setting you free and having the life that you truly desire and you know deep inside you deserve? Yeah. So let's take a few moments. Why must you take control of your finances? I want you to find something to write on, a piece of paper and a pen, and write down, why must you take control of your finances? Why must you master your money? And thirdly, if you don't change anything, what is that going to cost you? So take a few moments, write for yourself, and let's go. So why must you control your finances? Why must you take control of your money? Or in other words, why must you master your money? Who else is going to benefit by you mastering your money? Who will you be able to serve? Who will you be able to give to? What impact can you have? And if you don't change this, what is going to cost you? Who else will be hurt? Let's do another minute. We'll take one more minute. Let the pen flow. And you're doing amazing. Let the pen flow. Come from your heart. This is not about being perfect. So why is it an absolute must for you to master your money? We'll take 30 more seconds. Prepare to wrap up. Awesome. If you got some compelling reasons why, let us know in the comments. Type them in. Because this is about the personal economy quantifier. This is about you getting clarity, replacing stress with certainty, getting frameworks, tips, and tricks. You get an understanding of strategies that are gonna help you create or maintain wealth, even though in the toughest economic times. So let us know now in the chat, in the comments, if you got some compelling reasons why. And here's the thing. This insight of having a long-term perspective is gonna be what's really set you up for success, because this is about clearing your expectations as well. Let me ask you, what was the best time to give your money a job? And what was the best time to plant a tree? The best time to plant a tree, that was, do you know? And that was 20 years ago. And the second best time is now. So having a long-term perspective on your money and achieving financial freedom, independence, that's a long-term gain. And still, we can shift things around also quickly. We can make decisions today that's gonna move you in the direction you want. And this training came together because I've been a really strict saver. And that allowed me to actually invest in real estate, buying my home here in Oslo, one of the most expensive capitals in Europe. And I did that at a very young age, 23 years old. I'm not saying that to brag or to impress in any way. I just want to show you what's possible when we follow the secret formula. And that is, and today we're going to really dig into the S. That is the save for the purpose of investing. And I'm going to share with you some of the best insights that we discovered along the way and that I gathered and based on our experience as well. And this is all about a habit and being conscious about our money. Because here's the thing, the better you are at managing money, the more you will be given to manage. So save more and invest the difference. It's about making smart decisions with the money that you already have, because a dollar saved, or whatever your currency is the same principle, but a dollar saved is much more worth than a dollar earned because you pay taxes on your income. Now, in order to really start shifting things, we need to know, or you need to know, what is it that you want? Because when you get to choose your lifestyle, then we can figure out what is the price tag of that lifestyle. And that lifestyle determines the size of the assets that you need to have in order to pay for your lifestyle. Because eventually this is about freedom. This is about having your money working for you, That is why we want to quantify and to make the most out of the money that we got and turn things around. So get clear on what you want, and then what is the price tag of that. And right now, I just want you to imagine an amount of money that you need to have flowing into your life on a monthly basis. And what is the amount of money that you need in order to pay for your desired lifestyle? Just get a number in your head. Don't worry about perfection. This is what we call your financial freedom number. And what is being wealthy to you and what is being wealthy to me, that is probably different. We all have our different financial freedom numbers. So it's unique. And would you like to get some clarity on what your number could be? If that's the case, type freedom in the chat. And the first time that I looked at this, I was a little bit overwhelmed, but we will share things with you afterwards that are going to make you even more excited. So let's go. And then if you want to make 3,000 a month from your assets, how much money do you need to have invested? And don't worry about the currency. This works equally well regardless of where you are in the world. If you want 3,000 a month, whether that's euro, whether that is dollars or pounds, it doesn't matter. You will need 300,000 growing at 12%. That will give you 3,000 a month. What about 10,000? If you want your money to generate 10,000 for you, you need to have invested 1 million growing at 12% per month. And here's the thing, only 10% needs to be contributed by you. And that is possible because of what we're going to share with you now. And you might think that 12% is not possible. Let me share with you that I made 24% on my first live investment within 4 weeks. I thought I was lucky, but I actually made consistent profits afterwards. So what is going to enable you to tap into this concept that your money is going to work for you? Here, we're going to present to you something that I learned from T. Harv Eker, the JAR system. And this is about managing your money. And you can look at it as 6 different bank accounts if you want. And the first one, we're gonna name that necessities. And that means we'll set aside 55% of our income for necessities. That is mortgage, it's utilities like electricity, gas, it's food, it's things that's really a necessity. If you love shopping, shopping is not part of necessities other than groceries and utilities, but shopping clothes or other gadgets or nice things, it's not a necessity. If you want to buy something a little bit bigger, we have the account that you can call long-term saving. You can set aside 10% in there to buy yourself. Maybe it's a new house, maybe it's a car, maybe it's a particular trip or something. Then we also have the play account, the play jar. We set aside 10% for that because this is about tapping into all the experiences that life can offer. Pamper ourselves, having fun, really do something that lights us up and can disconnect. Because it's also about experiencing life and wanting more of that, and also include others in that. Then we have the financial freedom jar. This is where you set aside money to invest. And then we have donation. The secret to living is giving is something that Tony Robbins says. And myself, I have had the pleasure of giving food, buying food to families that are less fortunate than myself here in the city where I live. And it's amazing to see the impact it can have when those families that sometimes they can't afford their own food, or they have to really be selective on what they spend their money on and what kind of impact that can have when they get that additional help. If you yet haven't had the pleasure, it's something I encourage you to to try to help someone less fortunate than yourself. And then we have the last jar, that's the education jar. And that means we have 10% left for that. And that is probably the best, the most important investment that you can ever make, is an investment in yourself, because you will be able to obtain a skill set, tools, new insights that you can use for the rest of your life. So how do we really make sure that we get the most out of our money management, our money? Because a dollar saved or a euro saved is much more worth than €1, $1 in income, because you pay taxes on your income. So what is an exercise that we could do? Something that could be very powerful is to do this exercise with some bank statements. And here's the thing. In order to get to the financial level where you want to be, you need to know, where are you right now? What are your actual numbers right now? So one exercise that you can do is to print out the 3 latest bank account statements and print them out. And then get some color markers. And you can then highlight the lowest numbers, the 3 lowest numbers, and you can highlight the 3 largest numbers. Because here's the thing. Maybe there's a subscription you've forgotten about. Or maybe there is, to get an overview. Is there something you've forgotten about your expenses that should be taken care of? So go over the 3 latest bank statements, look at what is actually going out of your account. Now, and the next thing you can do is about having a look at money wasters, because there are some big money wasters that can rob you for a lot of money. And for some of you, it's going to be unused gym or streaming memberships. Maybe you're paying for a platform that you're no longer using. How many of you are watching Netflix, Amazon Prime, HBO, or any other kind of streaming service? Maybe there's something in there that you have forgotten. Or maybe you have a membership at the gym that you're no longer using. Then you could cancel that and easily save money. The second thing is expensive gadgets. It's about materialism. Do you really need all the stuff that you are buying? Or is it just to keep up with friends? Are you buying it because it is just the latest thing and the next popular item? The third thing, the third money waster, is junk food or impulsive snack purchases. And some ways I deal with this is knowing my values, like what do I really value? And for me, like health is something I value highly. So I know why I should stay healthy and avoid buying small unhealthy snacks all the time. But some snacks are also healthy. Maybe you buy small carrots or other things that's more healthy, but it still costs money. And one thing that you could practice is actually eating before going out. Make sure that you have something in your stomach already. Or take a sip of water before you consider eating, because that's going to help shift your physiology, help shift your focus from the hunger. The fourth thing is interest. High interest on loans and having or shifting from low interest on savings. Because here's the thing. Today, inflation is really high. And inflation is a concept that describes how prices in society is increasing. And what that means is that the value of your money is getting less, and less. And when inflation goes up, usually the interest also goes up on loans. And here's the thing. I some months ago, I renegotiated the interest rate on my mortgage, and I saved 0.2% per year in interest. And you might say, okay, 0.2%, what is that? That's kind of nothing. But hear me out. In total, that was actually 20,000 euros over 20 years. That is 1,000 euro per year. If I can save 1,000 euro per year, that is like, it's kind of a good weekend vacation, right? You can buy yourself, you can have a lot of massages, for example, or you can go out eating dinner. You can take two friends to a Michelin star restaurant twice a year. Isn't that cool? And it's just because I called the bank, I got a better arrangement, and then it was done. So it can be really powerful. The last thing I was going to mention here on money wasters is the power of having a look at what is your liabilities in your life. Because one thing that is common is expensive cars. And do you know that like a car can lose up to like 30% of its value as soon as it leaves the store? And here's the thing. If you use the car just for your own purpose, it's a liability. A liability is anything that costs you money. What you need in your life to have freedom is to bring in assets. That is one thing I want you to take away from this training. Your focus needs to shift from how do I get in more money to how do I get assets. So yes, we're talking about how you can save money, how you can be smart with your money, how you can be a smart spender. And at the same time, it's all about setting you up to actually bring in assets into your life. So expensive cars, for example, that only cost you money, is really gonna steal from your future self. And how can you turn it around? If you, for example, rent out your car, it will become an asset. If the car can pay for itself because you rent it out, it is an asset. And all of this, like, do you remember I talked to you about the financial freedom jar? Because this is about saving for the purpose of investing. And investing is actually sacrificing something good today for something even better in the future. That is the discipline of getting to where you want to be. If you want the extraordinary results, you gotta do the extraordinary. That is the power of this. Okay, what is the next thing after the money wasters? We talked about the exercise of looking at your bank statements. We have the money wasters. And the next thing is a really powerful concept as well, a 3 months buffer. Start saving so you have 3 months of expenses available in your savings. And this is achievable by you living below your means. Live below your means. And how many of you have a mortgage that you're paying on? Most of us have, right? And the reason why most of us have a mortgage is because it's very usual. Like, who among your friends, among your circle of people that you hang out with, who doesn't have a mortgage? And it's really common. And that is probably like why most of us have it as well, because it's just so common. But what's funny about that is, for most of us, it puts us in a worse financial situation compared to when we were born. Like when we're born, we have zero debt, we're given everything. Then when we grow up, we put ourselves in this position where we are of worse than when we were born, because when we have a mortgage, it's the bank that owns your real estate. It's not yourself. And I'm going to share some tips with you on how can we really fast and speed up the process of getting rid of the mortgage. And if you have a mortgage payment of 1,000, and again, the currency doesn't really matter, whether it's euro, pound, dollars, it doesn't really matter. It's the principle. So just hear me out. And if you pay that once a month, you're going to pay 12,000 over the course of a year, right? 12 months, 1,000 per month adds up to 12,000. If we switch that and we make a bi-weekly payment that every second week we pay in, so we just divide the amount in two and we make a payment of 500 every second week. That would mean that since a year has 52 weeks and we make a payment every second week, we make 26 payments. And here's the thing. So instead of then, that means actually you have gotten an extra month, right? Because if you pay 1,000 for 12 months, it's 12,000. 526 times is 13,000. It's an extra payment. And here's the thing: anytime you pay a little extra to lower your principal, is the money that you own. So when you pay the entire principal, there is no loan left. So you have the principal and you have the interest. And it's when you pay all the interest and some additional, the additional goes to pay down your principal. And anytime you pay a little extra to lower your principal, you will owe less interest going forward. So that means, and it's the interest that really costs you money. Remember, I shared with you that I was able to reduce the interest with 0.2%. It saved me €1,000 per year. It's huge, right? So the only thing to make this work for you with, for example, the bi-weekly payments is that you need to make sure that your lender allows you to do bi-weekly mortgage payments, that there is no extra payments that are going to be applied to the principal. That is the amount itself that you owe. So when the principal is zero, you don't owe anything anymore. But that there are no extra payments and there are no prepayment penalties. Like if you have a fixed rate, often there is a condition that if you pay the mortgage sooner, you will have a penalty. There will be an extra fee for you. So you just need to make sure that there are no extra fees for doing this. And what I like even better is that you can actually pay your down payment in advance. So this is a second option. Hear me out. If you can just pay, for example, so let's say every month you pay on your mortgage. If you can just pay that 2 weeks in advance, it will also save you interest. And this works really well if you have flexible interest and there is no prepayment penalty. So here is so it works because when every time you pay a little bit extra, you owe less interest in the future going forward. Let me know if any of this is powerful and if it's something you want to explore. We're really curious to hear what kind of results you're having and what you will be able to see when you talk to your bank regarding this. Okay, other than mortgage and low interest on your mortgage, some of the best ways to save money is to pay off debt. But debt is often especially credit card debt, is a really high rate, so paying that off can really help. Now, in order to help you to get where you want to be, you need to know where are you right now. And to help you with that, we created a budget that we're gonna do now. So this is about developing a spending plan, and having a spending plan will, for example, help you eliminate fights with your spouse or loved ones, because everyone will have agreed upon in advance how much money is going to be spent in each category of life. Or if you're single, you must know how much you are spending so you can set aside money to invest, because it's actually about shifting focus from how do I bring in more money to how do I bring in assets. Assets is what's going to set you free. Assets appreciate in value, they grow in value, and that will be equal to giving your money a job. So let's see how we can bring even more clarity so you can get wealth. So let's have a look here. I'm going to bring it up as well so we can have a look. Let me reshare my screen. Now you should be able to see the budget. And at the bottom, make sure you start with the budget, and we're going to explore the other tabs. What it starts with here is we're going to look at a monthly summary. And as we are changing this, all you need to do is to change the purple, light purple boxes, leave every cell alone, leave every other cell untouched. And by the way, to get started, you click File, you click Make a Copy, because with the link that we shared with you on the screen, the QR code, you can scan that as well. We'll also make sure that you get the code. You can comment below. We will give you the link. And yeah, so you will be given the link, comment below if you want it, and then change only the light purple cells. So at the top, we're going to see the sum of it all. You're going to see the result of all your outgoing money, and you can put in how much are you earning per month. Now, the first category is fixed household costs. And here we have, for example, mortgage. We have utilities, food, TV, internet, phone. And then we have transportation costs. And this is for you to get clarity. And then we have financials. How much do you have any credit? Maybe you pay something on loan, maybe you have something, other loans than mortgage. Maybe you have that you set aside money for a specific purpose. Maybe you have insurance. Maybe you invest on a regular basis into stocks and crypto. By the way, we have 2 amazing programs to give you the best insights that we discovered, to give you new tools and techniques to thrive in this new world, and especially like with the crypto, to have this new asset working for you. Though, by the way, and finally, we have, maybe there's something else that you want to keep track of. Maybe you do donations. Maybe you set aside money for fun, and there is space for something else as well. So this is about having clarity. So if we put in, for example, our mortgage is 800. I was supposed to have 800. So we will, and maybe you spend on phone, you spend 20 per month, and you just put this in. You don't have to worry about the currency. You just put in the number regardless of what your currency is. So this is just the principle. It works the same whether that's euro, pounds, dollars, it doesn't matter. So what you can see now, it took 800 plus 20, it summed it up. And at the top as well, you can see that the total here is 820 because we have 0 income here. If I put that I earn 1,000, you will see that you are left with 180 on a monthly basis. So you can use this for your own purpose and fill this out. If you do have a partner, you can go to the second sheet here, the second tab, and you will be able to fill out for yourself. Your partner can fill out, and if there's some joint things, for example, it might be that you pay for the same internet subscription, and maybe you live in the same house or apartment, and you pay on that together. You have the option of putting in joint costs as well, and it will be all summed up. And then here is a really powerful thing, because in order to get to where you want to be, you need to know where you are, and you can only manage what you measure. So in order to get absolute clarity on where are you right now, so you really can close the gap from where you are to where you want to be, we have this last sheet. what it does, it takes this sheet, the partner, and it expands it. That at the end of each month, you can actually look at what was the actual spent. So you can fill in. So this is what we call this is a budgeting, to really look at what do you plan, and here's what actually happened. And you have the same for your partner, what actually happened, what actually was the costs for the joint costs. So you really can compare how are you doing and really figure out then, do you need to tweak something? Does something need to change? Because in order for things to change, you gotta change. It doesn't happen by itself. So that is the power of the budget. And think about it. If you had this clarity, if you get that control, how would that change your life? Take a moment, write that down with absolute clarity and a planning, and seeing where does my money go and where can I actually make changes that's going to help me. How would that impact my life? How will that impact the people I care about? Awesome. And feel free to let us know in the comments what you wrote down. Now we're gonna do an exercise on cutting the waste. And the first thing I want you to do is, let me share my screen again. The first thing I want you to do is that you are going to brainstorm all the things in your life that you could eliminate or reduce to cut your expenses. So on your piece of paper, you could write down 5 columns. And then, so you have these headers, the item or activity. The second header is the cost. The third header is the number of times per week. The fourth header is the total cost. And then the last column, the fifth column, is the level of enjoyment. So now, brainstorm all the things in your life you could eliminate or reduce to cut your expenses. For example, can you fly on a weekday rather flying on a weekend? Can you cut down on your daily frappuccinos? How many of you love frappuccinos? Or do you have another favorite maybe? Maybe you can pack a lunch for work instead of buying something. We'll take a minute and brainstorm all the things you could eliminate. So that is in the left column. Just write in the first column things that you can eliminate to set yourself up to cut your expenses. Because here's the thing as well, like if, for example, if you're going to the supermarket or grocery store, and in what state are you going there? Are you hungry? And I bet I done this. I buy extra food if I go to the supermarket hungry. Or I buy unhealthy food because I have low blood sugar. And that means it's €1 here and €1 there. And also be aware of the cost of convenience. Planning a bit can reduce your cost. For example, certain stores charge more just because of the brand or because of their location. Now, yeah, let's see. Let's give you some more time. Just let the pen flow. We'll give you another 30 seconds. What else? In what other area of your life can you cut something to reduce your expenses? I'll just prepare to wrap up. So how much does each of these activities cost you? How often do you pay for this? That's the second and the third column. How much does it cost you, each of these things, and how often do you pay for this each week? And then the fourth column, what is the cost? The total cost. So if each Frappuccino costs you, for example, $3, you do that 5 times a week, it ends up costing you $15 per week. And I encourage you to finish this on your own. And then I just want you, for the first or the second item, just finish that now. And in the last column, how much joy do you get from each of these items? 0 being none, and 10 being extremely pleasurable. So how much joy do you get from each of these items? And right now, I want you to associate in your body the feeling of absolute freedom. Close your eyes, feel free to that. How do you feel if you could do whatever you want, wherever you want, whatever you want, with whomever you want? What will you be able to enjoy, to have, to do, or to give? Will having this expense, will that give you more joy, or take away or take you further away from your financial goals? So with absolute freedom, with absolute time, money, energy freedom, what will you be able to enjoy, have? What will you be able to do? What will you be able to be? What can you give? And these expenses that you wrote, will they give you more joy, or will they take you further away from your financial goals? Yes, I bet. And what is most important? Decide right now. What is most important to you? Is it the joy from all these items on that list? Or is it the feeling of absolute freedom? This is about cutting out what truly doesn't serve you. Life is also about balance, but decide. Cut out what's not going to serve you. So right now, write down at least 3 things you are resolved to eliminate from your list. Please go. Write down 3 things that you are committed to take off your list. Think about it. With absolute freedom, with absolute time freedom, energy freedom, money freedom, what will you be able to do? What will you be able to be? What can you give? Who can you be? So what can you eliminate from your list right now? And we've been through a very powerful exercise here. I shared some great tips and insights with you. And how many of you have gotten some new insights, some new tips, some new skills that you can use to help yourself and eventually also create more freedom, for yourself and people you care about? Let us know in the comments. Type me in the comments. Fantastic. And in order to support you, like I will love to support you, continue giving you accountability, help you get results faster. And the only way I can do that is by like giving you a decade of my time to really connect with you, hang out. And I can't do that for everyone. And we barely scrape the surface. We only we've only been looking at the tip of the iceberg. So in order to help you to get to where you want to be, I have an opportunity for you that I would like to share with you. And how many of you would like to have results faster, implement this a lot quicker, and really achieve the next level of financial freedom for you and the people you care about? Yes, exactly. So what I'm going to invite you to do is to, if you haven't yet, grab our Financial Freedom Kickstarter. And after grabbing that, you will be given the option to continue clicking through on the web page. So register first on that web link, and then you will have an option of booking a call with me at a time that's convenient for both you and for me. And on that call, we will talk about where you are right now, where you want to go, and how we can serve you and help you closing the gap to get to where you want to be. So this is for you if you're curious about how you can get accountability, how you can get support, and get new insights and even more tools that's gonna help you bring assets into your life. That's about giving your money a job. And some of you might be saying, this is not the right time. So what is the story that you're telling yourself? Is it because this is a crisis and it's not the right time? But this is definitely the right time, because it's in time of crisis, in recessions, that people become wealthy, and when millionaires become billionaires. Why? Because when there's a recession and many are panicking, then wealthy people, they see opportunities. They pick down, run down houses, run down stocks, run down cryptos. And when the economy turns, they sell with massive profits. Because here's the thing, like investments as well. And if you want to bring in profits and making, for example, profits from crypto, now is the time. And maybe some of you say investing is risky a lot, because this is the foundation we've been talking about now. It's saving for the purpose of investing, bringing in assets into your life. And if you say investing is risky, I can understand, because we never taught how to do it. But this is about mastering low risk, high reward investments to put yourself in a position where your money is going to work for you. And if you're already investing, some of you might say, hey, there's so many opportunities. Which one do I pick? And we're going to share that exactly with you if you continue learning with us. And I just want to say about that investing is so risky that we have taken women without any experience to becoming profitable investors. Like Manuela, an Austrian teacher, had no experience, but then she's actually able to make profits ranging from 10% to 48%. And she even made an investment and gave it 204% return. Is that good or good? Some say that I'm not a numbers person, but hey, you don't need to be good with numbers. We have the support tools, we have the systems, we have very clear guidelines to take the heavy lifting off you, so you can focus your time where it matters. After learning our strategies for investing to give your money a job, this is about getting into an hour a week routine. And some say, money is bad. But so I want you to think about something for a minute. What is money? What is money? A lot of people have fear about money, and even bigger fears about spending money, or especially investing it. But you need to understand that money is good. It's just a tool that was created for exchange. Other than that, there is no real value in money. You can't use to keep you warm. You can't eat it. There's no value in that. You can only trade it for something else that you want. And everyone changes money for something because they feel what they're gonna get in return is gonna be even more valuable. At least that's why I give my money to someone for something else. And even with assets as well, like you put your money in to get something that's gonna work for you, that has given your money a jump. And the only thing is, okay, you don't know for sure until you buy and you try it. And would you exchange some of your money, invest that for those results that I talked about? Like, for example, that Manuela been able to get? If the answer is yes, then you need to schedule a call with one at our team right now. And yeah, if you have any, and we're gonna give you absolute clarity on how you're gonna be able to make your money work for you. So go to the link. You can open your phone, open the camera, and you can scan the code. You can just go to the link as well, get the Financial Freedom Kickstarter, and afterwards you will be given the option to book a call with one of us at the team. And on the call, we'll talk about where you are right now, where you want to be, and how we can empower you to close the gap to get to where you want to be. It's been a pleasure serving you. I'm looking forward to continue serving those of you who want to get to the next level. And yeah, so go to the link. It's been a pleasure. And stay happy, stay safe. Ka-ching!